All right, good morning, traders. Today is May 8th, 2026. My name, Coach Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That is the day trading service for Hit and Run Candlesticks family. Thank you so much, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you for your subscriptions, your following, your liking, your kind words. Appreciate that. Big shout out to all the people that share the content. Bob Jordan, John Jordan, Kathy, Sarah Roasted, Ed Carter, Rick Sadler, thank you. Appreciate that. Helping get the good word out there to the World Wide Web. Educate the traders that are just trying to learn. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's move this over and let's see what we got for a summary. So far for this morning, remember the employment situation comes out at 8:30 today, okay? So things could change, all right? In the pre-market, I observed consolidation over consolidation. That's a bullish environment. Plan to trade a 10-minute uptrend over 732 to the all-time high, 736, and then to the overhead call wall, wherever that plots out this morning. Maybe up there around 740. It was up there a day yesterday at one point, and then the day before at one point. So probably going to be 740. I plan to trade 10-minute downtrend below the post-market low. That would be yesterday's post-market low would be 728.50 to the support area, 724.70, and then lower to the put wall, wherever that plots out this morning. Okay, so upside, downside. Let's take a look at the markets. Actually, let's do the summary. So my SPY pivot this morning, of course, 732.50. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Yesterday, SPY, T2123, IWM, QQQ, all made new all-time highs. FAGU and Diamond Dow made new rally highs. SPY closed, 2-hour uptrend, 10-minute downtrend. Gold, in a downtrend still, made a higher low and a higher high, closed over a bullish cross and over the falling 17, but it did not make a higher high, so it's still in a downtrend. Silver starts a new uptrend, made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish cross and over the dipping 17 EMA. USO made a lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap and under the falling 17, but it's still in an uptrend, has not made a lower low yet. UNG still in a downtrend, made an outside day. That's a higher high and a lower low. Closed over a bullish cross and above the falling 17. US dollar index still in a daily downtrend. Closed near the 98.27 area. SPY max pain for today, unless they change it, 723 with a put to call ratio of about 2.3 puts to each call that expires today at 4:15. The main event this week is the employment situation that comes out at 8:30. That's exactly about 24 minutes from now. Remember those index options, they're going to expire at 4:15. Security options, they're going to expire at 4. If this is your first time seeing this page, this is like a watch list right here, okay? These are all in daily uptrends over the 17 EMA. These are all in daily downtrends under the 17 EMA. If this has a star next to it, is building out a launch pad, otherwise known as a bull flag from which to launch higher. If it's got a little dash next to it, it means it already broke out and it's on its way traveling north or up. Okay, so star over here is a platform, otherwise known as a bear flag, from which to dive lower. If it's got a little dash next to it, it means it already started to break down. So, bullish on the daily chart and over the 17 EMA. Bearish on the daily chart and under the 17 EMA. All right? Let's go take a look at the market. Start off with SPY on the 10-minute. And let's see what we got here. SPY on the 10-minute. So into the close, I want this chart right there. So in the close, we came down and over to the right. So kind of bearish consolidation. You can see the 3 EMA And the sticks plotting underneath the falling 8 right there, underneath VWAP. So I'm going to call it 10-minute downtrend. They got a 1 candle pop right here coming into the close, but 10-minute downtrend into the close for all intents and purposes right there. So what did we hit? This is the breakup candle low, anchored VWAP. Breakup candle low. You can see we came down to that yesterday, kind of hovered on top of it, and now we're bouncing up over it. If you look at the post market, they came down through it and then back up. So there's SPY on the 10-minute. Let's take a look at the 2-hour. So on the 2-hour, you can see you got the sticks and the 3 EMA rising up over the rising 8. You've got some daylight, not much, but you do have, if you squint your eyes, you do have some daylight there between the 3 EMA as above the 8 EMA. Okay, so 3 EMA is the yellow line, white EMA, the 8 EMA is the white line right there. So SPY on the 2-hour chart, bullish is an uptrend for the 2-hour chart. Daily chart, we made a new all-time high again yesterday. Okay, so daily chart's going to be bullish and in an uptrend. It's hard not to be bullish and in an uptrend when you're making a new all-time high. Same with the weekly, same with the monthly. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. All right, on QQQ, we'll start on the 10-minute. It's downtrend coming into the close. You can see the sticks and the 3 riding underneath the 8 EMA. Got a 2-candle pop at the end of the day. It's not really enough for me to say that's an uptrend. They're still underneath VWAP here. Some would call it a 10-minute downtrend or 10-minute bearish consolidation into the close on the QQQ and SPY. All right, on the 2-hour chart, you got the sticks and the 3 plotting up over the rising 8. You've got daylight between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA. All right, so we've got 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Daily candle prints a new all-time high. Okay, so that's bullish. Okay, there's the origin of the move. That's bullish and in an uptrend right there on QQQ. Daily chart, weekly chart, bullish and in an uptrend. Monthly chart, bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at the game plan for both SPY and QQQ. They're going to be very similar. Okay, so we got a red erases green event, okay, or entry right over yesterday's high. Okay, so that's over 700.90. That is a green erases red entry. So that'd be a green erases red bullish entry over 700.90. QQQ pivot, it's going to be 693. We've got a bearish red erases green entry underneath 686.40. Okay, I like Friday options on the multiple of 5, so that's either going to be 0 days till expiration, 7 days till expiration, or 14 days till expiration. Okay, I like a lot of liquidity. I like a lot of open interest. I like a tight bid-ask spread. I like to have not much slippage when I get stopped out. I like strikes that are at the money or $1 over at the money. I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. My favorite trade, whether it's SPY, QQQ, or anything, it is the 10-minute uptrend that resides inside of a 2-hour uptrend, that resides inside a daily uptrend, inside a weekly, inside a monthly. All the bigger time frames in uptrends. And everything over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's my ultimate favorite trade right there. Okay, so that goes for QQQ and SPY. Let's take a look at SPY. So for SPY, you got a green erases red entry over yesterday's highs. So that's going to be over 735.80. All right, we got up to 7. If you want to take it down to the penny, that would be about 736.16, I believe, or 736.13. All right, I think that's the all-time high for yesterday. So green erases red over 735.80. That's an entry right there. Pivot is 732.50. Above it, bullish. Below it, bearish. Red erases green entry. Okay, underneath this candle right here is going to be below 729.80. Okay, so underneath that, that would be a bearish red erases green entry underneath that. All right, same thing. I like Friday options on the multiple of 5 specifically for the high open interest. I like a lot of liquidity. Again, I like a tight bid-ask spread. I like to pay 1 penny or 2 pennies between the two of them. All right, I don't like any more than that. I like strikes that are at the money or $1 above at the money, or excuse me, $1 out of the money, or strikes that are at the money. I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, and I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. I like 10-minute trends because they last longer and they go further. Okay, they're capable of lasting longer and going further. I'll put it that way. Okay, so 5-minute trend, you're going to have multiple 5-minute trends inside of an hourly trend. Okay, you're probably only going to get a couple of 10-minute trends, if not probably just one inside of an hourly trend. So you can see you get the bigger the time frame, the longer they last. So that's nice. So I like that. So there's SPY. Let's take a look at IWM. And we'll look at that on the daily chart. So new all-time high for IWM. Again, here's the origin of their rally up back here, April 2025, about a year ago. Okay, so new all-time high for IWM. So that is bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Okay, Diamond Dow not making new all-time highs, but made a new rally high. All right, closing up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, so that's bullish and in an uptrend up there at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, so bullish in an uptrend for Diamond Dow, bullish in an uptrend for IWM, bullish in an uptrend for QQQ and SPY. Let's take a look at Stinker. No longer Stinker's doing well. Stinker makes a new rally high. Okay, so I'll pan out so you can see that's the all-time high. That's the all-time low. That is the pullback from the all-time high. Okay, so this pink line becomes the all-time high anchored VWAP. We are over the all-time high anchored VWAP. So a 10-minute uptrend inside of a 2-hour uptrend would be my favorite trade today or yesterday or the day before on FNGU right here. Okay, so that's bullish because we're up in the upper third. All right, and in an uptrend because you can see a high here, and obviously we are making higher highs. So bullish and in an uptrend for FNGU. All right, let's take a look at precious metals, silver and gold. Okay, so silver, higher low, higher high, closed over bullish cross over the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Not quite in the upper third yet, so neutral and in an uptrend. There's a high, they made a higher high, so neutral and an uptrend on the daily chart for silver. Let's take a look at gold. What we want to see out of silver, I'll go back to it. You want to see it climb on top of this all-time high anchored VWAP, and you want to see it hold for 4 days. Okay, because you see last time they got up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they lost it. So maybe 4 or 5 days. Okay, you want to see it climb up there and hold for 4 or 5 days. This one was kind of wonky, but get up there and hold a nice level plank for 4 or 5 days on silver. All right. Other than that, it probably gets shot down again. Let's take a look at gold. Gold got a higher low, got a higher high, closed over a bullish cross over the dipping 17 EMA, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, bottom of quadrant 4. That's going to be bullish, and they're still in a downtrend because they haven't made any higher highs. So that's gold. Let's take a look at USO. USO, lower high, lower low, closed under a bearish trap, under the rising 17, bottom of quadrant 4. That's bullish. Have not made any lower lows. They'd have to beat that low right there. So they're still in an uptrend. So bullish and in an uptrend, just not moving up. See, there's the high. We've been melting off to the right or down ever since making this high. So dysfunctional uptrend there. Nice green candle yesterday. Maybe we get some follow through on that. Doesn't look like it, but still bullish and in an uptrend. That's USO. UNG, the one that never fails to disappoint. Outside day, higher high, lower low. We closed over bearish trap or bullish cross. It's kind of wonky right there. Over a bearish trap, but under the falling 17. This is the all-time low right here. We are down here challenging the all-time low. We closed under the falling 17, under the 12-month high anchored VWAP. We were in the bottom of quadrant 1, so that's bearish. It's definitely bearish. Definitely. Okay, so haven't made a higher high yet, so we're still in a downtrend. So we are bearish and in a downtrend on UNG. All right, let's take a look at technicals. Start with T2101. So this is absolute market breadth or participation, and we made new all-time highs. And you can see the participation, it keeps melting off. The higher we go, the less interest or participation we're getting. Not a good sign. You'd like to make new highs on lots of participation. Remember when GameStop went flying high? Lots of participation on that. Okay? This thin market makes for probably a tweezer top, a needle top, big middle finger top, whenever you get low participation like that. Okay, so big steep rise up, steep fall back, all right? Whenever you got that low participation. You get like GameStop when we had the meme stocks, all right? And they stayed up there for a while, all right? That was because there's lots of participation, all right? So when you don't get much participation, you wind up getting a tweezer top, a needle top, big middle finger top, that kind of top, all right? So be careful up there. They haven't been putting in any platforms or any safety gear, I'll tell you that. They're just going straight up right now. So that's T2101. That's the participation, absolute market breadth. T2122, again, we're still on the bullish side of neutrality, but obviously even making new highs, we fell out of the buy zone and we camped out inside the buyer's chop zone. Bearish from the day before's perspective, but still bullish overall, staying on the north side of the gold line right here. Okay, so, but not looking good. I keep seeing lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. I don't know. Maybe we find ourselves back in the seller's chop zone today or Monday. We'll see what happens, okay? We're due for a rest, but we're due for like a really good rest, like a 2-week rest, okay? We need to, build up some steam here, okay? I mean, we came running from all the way down there at the bottom of the bullish upper third and to make new highs, and now we're like 33% above the highs. We're overdue for a rest. So I don't mind a rest, but we don't need to go into the oversold zone to get there. Okay, just simple kind of bull flag would be nice. That's T2122. Not looking good. Looking kind of getting close to being overbought. Not in the overbought zone, but you can see they're running out of gas. That's what it looks like to me. See how the lower highs? And now we're starting to dip even faster. So kind of running out of gas. That's what it looks like to me, okay? We're still bullish, though. Okay, T2123, new all-time high for that one. Bullish gap up, not filled by the bears all day. No downtrend there. You're bullish. You're up over the rising 200 SMA. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. There's no downtrend. They failed to make a lower low. The bears did yesterday, so that's bullish and in an uptrend. So you got a bullish gap up there, not filled by the bears. Bullish gap here, not filled by the bears. Another bullish gap here, not filled by the bears. Another bullish gap here, not filled by the bears. Look at all these bullish gaps not filled by the bears. There's lots of them back here, okay? So T2123, 4-week, new high, new low ratio. That was the cumulative. Just doing fantastic there in T2123. Let's take a look at the 3-bar chart. Obviously bullish, up over the rising 200 SMA. Bullish and in an uptrend, T2123. Let's take a look at, what am I looking for? FNGU. All right, here's FNGU yesterday, and even with the dipping here, they didn't make a lower low, so we're still in an uptrend. You're up over the rising 200 SMA. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. You made a new rally high yesterday. See, there's a high. There's an even higher high, so that's still in an uptrend. They made a low right here, but they didn't make lower lows. Okay, so still bullish and in an uptrend on FNGU on the 15-minute. Daily chart bullish and in an uptrend as well. So both the 15 and the daily bullish and in an uptrend. We'll see how far that's going to go. U.S. dollar index. Okay, we got a daily downtrend for 6 months, and now we're in a 10-month bear flag. Okay, and we're inside this 10-month bear flag. We're in a downtrend. We got a low right here. We made lower lows. See, there's a low underneath the 17. Got a low right here. Made lower lows, so we're in a downtrend until we make higher highs. Okay, so there's U.S. dollar index. Economic calendar, again today. We've got employment situation comes out at 8:30, so that's 4 minutes from now. There could be some volatility wrapped up inside that. Baker Hughes rig count comes out at 1, and then that's it for today. As far as earnings reports, Enbridge going to report today, 119 billion. All these familiar names. Nothing here is going to move the markets. It's all going to be about the options and the gamma exposure. All right, so we'll take a look at that, see what it looks like. I keep hitting renew on this, and it doesn't. For some reason, it doesn't look right. If that's what it is, it's kind of weak. Usually, you'd want some inventory coming into the open. I don't know, maybe not. Currently, you got a big strike here. They're right on top of it. That's 735. Got the call wall at 736. I'd expect a little put squeeze, and then maybe a fallback to this area here. We may just pin this area until next week. We'll see. That's what it kind of looks like for me. But we were very bullish this morning when it comes to the PPO. All right, which happens to be momentum. All right, on the 10-minute chart for SPY. All right, you can see right here on the 10-minute chart. Okay, so we were up around, I'm on the 10-minute chart, right? And I want the pre-market, that one there, okay? So you can see we were up around 0.09, 0.10. We're dipping now. Looking to buy the dip. I mean, I kind of expect us to probably rally up to 740 today. All right, so if I get a nice 10-minute uptrend, I'll be probably buying some cheap out of the money calls for some 739 strike, 740, seeing those things probably catch a double, maybe catch a triple. We'll see what happens. It all depends on how low I nab them for and how much price appreciates as price gets closer. The faster it moves there, the more I'll probably make on them. But if it just wanders up there, it'll be slow and low, but I'll finally get it at the end. So there's SPY on the 10-minute chart right there. Lots of momentum early this morning, and you can see that it dipped off. Now they're getting ready for the employment situation, which comes out in 1 minute. All right, that's it for me for this morning. I will see you all in about 45 minutes, and we will get ready. Yep, as C is setting up, and let's take a look at C. And C is on a daily chart, and let's move this up. Yes, nice flag. That's a nice bull flag right there. That's well put together. I like how it goes up, holds. It's been resting. Yeah, C looks like ready to go higher. It's got that cupping feeling, and the 3 EMA just crossed up over the 8. Don't like this day, but I like the idea that we're already up here early this morning. All right, so getting a little blast off here. A little baseline breakout coming out on the SPY. All right, yes, C is setting up. I agree. Nice bull flag there. And on the 5-minute, little baseline breakout right here. All right, so you want a nice 10-minute candle with a follow-through candle. All right. So I'm sure they put in a new all-time high already. The high is, there they go. They got it. Right there. They got it by a penny, I think. Yeah, 736.14. All right. Yeah, they beat it by 1 penny and then they gave up. That's not a really good sign. All right, traders, I'll see you guys in, and gals. I'll see you all in about 45 minutes, and we'll open up the markets together, trade them live. All right? Thank you.